Hey y'all, it's time for Monday's Muse and you are in for a treat. Today we're going to have Cari Burns. She's a good friend of mine, an amazing boss in all things birthing. She has so many different certifications, so much knowledge. She does private childcare, so many things. Hey Cari. Hey, yes, I was just kind of giving a little bit of your background.
Go for it.
She established Bridging the Gap Family Solutions in 2017, which helps to change private childcare, where she provides that as well. She's trained and certified as a birth and postpartum doula, childbirth educator, breastfeeding counselor, and infant care specialist. It's funny, I was just telling Arnold, I was like, man, she has got the knowledge. That is awesome.
Girl, it's a lot.
Yeah, but it's awesome. It's good to be, so well versed and so knowledgeable in your field. Yeah. So yes, thanks for those that are live and that will watch the replay. We will be reposting this on my IGTV as well as my YouTube channel, so you'll be able to watch and share and rewatch and all the things.
Yes.
So I'm really excited to chat with you, Cari.
I am. I've been excited for this for a month. Come on, let's do this. I've been waiting this day.
Yes. So Cari, for those that don't know you, that are watching and will watch the replay, tell us more about you. Tell us a little bit more about you. How did you get into this line of work in wellness? What made you choose this?
So a little bit about me. I'm married to the wonderful Briston Burns, and we have the most wonderful son, Caleb, who is a year. Good. He's wonderful, excellent. Couldn't ask for more for a more perfect baby. I think it's a setup. So oh goodness, what are we here for? But he's wonderful. So as Victoria said, I am a certified birth and postpartum doula. Also support moms and breastfeeding, for breastfeeding counseling, infant care specialty, so on and so forth. I like to tell people all the time, look, birth chose me. Birth chose me. So while supporting multiple friends and family members, I said, why do I always find myself at a hospital, in a delivery room? The person that people, even before I only have one child, and I just had him a year ago. And still, even before then, people would ask me questions or just want to pick my brain on certain things, or I would just help them navigate through any, emotions. So once I started to research and things of, that nature, I was like, wow, I'm a doula. This is what I am. By definition, all of these things, this is what I am. So after numerous YouTube videos and asking questions, and I started looking into certification programs, and I was able to hop into a hybrid program to get me to my doula certification, and then my postpartum certification, and then moving into breastfeeding and infant care specialty, and all the things. So that's wow. I ended up in the wonderful world of
Yes, and that's crazy. If you think about birthing, which obviously I don't have any kids yet, so when I think about the whole process, I'm like, oh God, this is crazy. But also, it's a beautiful thing. It's amazing how God created our bodies to birth a child, from contractions and all the things. It's so cool. Yep. So I guess you kind of already answered why becoming a doula. So what's the difference between a doula and a midwife? Because I know people throw around those terms. I have an old friend who's actually a midwife from what I've known since I was a little kid. But what's the difference for those that don't know?
So for a midwife, they focus more so on the medical side. They're on that, making sure blood is drawn. What are numbers? What are the, those kind of things, the medical side of things. And doulas focus more so on the emotional side. So being a doula, we start from the very beginning. We start from the time of conception, processing through emotions and making sure that your mind's on the right track to do what it is that you're going to be doing, because it's work. It is a work. And when you're doing any kind of work, preparation has to take place. So the midwife, it allows, some education as far as preparing your body and you know, what things you need to do to care for the baby. And the doula focuses a lot on the mom and caring for the mom and how she needs to, and the dad too, and both parents, how they, you know, can better care for the baby and navigate through a lot of the emotions and concerns and things that come through when you first go to the doctor and like, oh yeah, you're expecting. And it's like, okay, shower down on all the things. So that's what a doula does,
Okay.
versus midwife.
Okay, so is it pretty common for someone to have a doula and OBGYN, obviously, since...
Oh yeah, for sure. It is very common. A lot of our clients, they choose to go, okay, I'm not sure if I'm necessarily into going to the midwife side, like home birth. And they say, I want to, you know, birth in a hospital. So, but a lot of midwives in Louisville, they will deliver in hospitals too. So now it's not exclusive, because when a lot of people think midwife, they think, oh, great, you're going to be at home on the floor, in a room, in a bathtub. And that's what they think. But we have nurse midwives in Louisville that deliver in hospitals, that provide you that midwife care and give you that kind of extra, that extra support that midwives give. So yeah, but it's very common as far as having, you know, who's on your birthing team, to have a doula in combination with an OB versus a midwife.
Okay. So is this something that's by state? So could you actually work with someone that's out of state, or do you have to have like a certification, something for the state?
I can support clients out of state, anywhere. I'm not sure if midwives is the same way. Like, you know, they have to be licensed in certain states or certified. I'm not sure as far as the midwife side, but as far as doulas, if I wanted to support someone in California, then I could. If I wanted to support someone in Arizona, I could. And we could do, you know, virtually. I may not be able to be there physically, but I can provide that support over the phone or through, you know, Zoom or, you know, IG Live.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's the way of the world now. I mean, everything's virtual, so it's nice. It's nice. It's nice that you have that option.
Yes, it is. It's great. It allows us a lot of flexibility. The doula world, you know, took a hit during COVID because we weren't allowed in hospitals. Now we are, but at first we weren't. And so a lot of us were like, how do we get to our clients? How do we, you know, support them in multiple ways? And how can we open up virtual communities so that people can talk and they can still build relationship with, you know, with doulas or other parents, or, you know, or sleep training specialists or whatever. So that is one good thing that COVID has opened the door for, is to allow doulas a wider space, a wider spectrum to support.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so on the topic of birthing well, how does one birth well? Like, I know that there's a lot of fear and anxiety surrounding birth in general and birthing a child. But how does one birth well? Like, how do you help your clients do that?
So first, the first step to birthing well is having somebody on your team that allows you the safe space to just pour out. So if it's a mom that says, I'm scared to give birth, you know, not saying to her, oh, you'll be fine. You know, no, what a doula will do is process that. Like, okay, what makes you scared? What about it scares you? What have you heard? What have you seen? And so that's the main, going back, that's the root of the wellness, is having a safe space. And so I have found that most moms birth well when they've had a great support system, mm-hmm. when they have a fantastic team behind them, you know, gunning for their experience, you know, wanting that for them. Unfortunately, you know, there are a lot of my old school, they're like, don't do this, don't do that, let them give you that medication, you know, or giving you all these preconceived things, or, you know, a lot of highlights, more so horror stories from their experience. And so that affects your wellness. That's an automatic effect on your mind. And so when you go into birthing, when you go into first pregnancy and then into birth, and then, Lord help, postpartum, because that's a whole nother set of things, you're already having battles. You're already, you know, fighting those battles. And so the first step is finding a safe place, gathering that support system, building your team, so that, you know, that they can help you prepare for what's ahead, for the journey ahead.
Yes. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. So to piggyback on all of your knowledge, I know with like infant care, breastfeeding, postpartum, all of that. How long is the typical process for someone that hires a doula and works with you? How long do they, or do you have like different packages or different things like that?
Well, I work alongside as an independent contractor with an agency. Shout out to Bluegrass Doulas. Rebecca and Kate have built a fantastic business and a fantastic reputation. And the first step is just reaching out and just having a consultation to say, this is where I'm at. I don't know if this would be a good fit for me because I've never done this before. So it would be first having that consultation, understanding what it is that you really want out of your experience. And then going from there. And most moms, they start at conception, and some may not seek out doulas until 34, 30, 36, 37 weeks and say, they get through the process and they're like, oh yeah, I want that. And then we're trying to hop on the bandwagon and get them, see them through that process. And then, and of course what matters is how long they want the doula to stay with them. So you have a birth doula who is in labor with you in throes, one leg in the shower with you down there doing, hip pressure. And then you have the postpartum doula who helps you navigate the postpartum experience. So some of our clients have had us from week 12 into 6 weeks postpartum, and all that's perfectly fine. As far as cost and everything, every doula has a personal rate they charge. And a lot of us, take payments, or, we work out with our clients because we feel that every mom, every parent deserves a doula. So with that, we work with our clients as best we can to make sure they have that. And make sure they have that. So, and there are other resources too, like it's called Mama to Mama. They have some doulas on staff that work pro bono.
Wow.
So that's a resource as well.
That's cool. And then, okay, so another thing that just came to my mind, because I personally see, well, I guess I won't say that I don't know totally, but I've been seeing more minorities as doulas. Are you seeing a rise in that, or no, as doulas or in the industry?
For sure. There's definitely a rise on Black women becoming doulas and Black women using doulas. The maternal rate of Black women dying in childbirth is significantly higher than our sisters on the Caucasian side or other races. And so, we're definitely seeing a growth in the community. And we're valuing that. So I think that there was a time where birth work was seen as like hippie, witchcraft. My dad still is convinced, I think, that I'm blowing herbs on people or something. I don't know, or like rubbing oils. He's like, oh, all that medicine, hippie medicine, and I'm just like, I don't practice medicine. No way, shape, form, or fashion. And so with those misconceptions, the birth work in the Black community was devalued. And so we kind of conformed to a different way of birthing, and kind of got away from women supporting other women. It became more of a solo thing. Go in the hospital, have the baby, more of a procedure.
Yeah.
And before, in history, doulas, there were maybe 6 or 7 doulas supporting one laboring mom.
Wow.
So I'm definitely seeing us going back to the roots, going back to a time when it was where it was beautiful, going back to a time where it was a community thing, and going back to a time where it was it was seen as doulaship was seen as something that was important to the process of having a baby.
That's awesome. Yeah, just like you said, with the death rates, I remember seeing something, I think Beyonce had some issues, and even Serena Williams, I know hers was really huge. So it's good. Oh. I'm
literally almost died having Caleb. And it was a doctor, my doctor, was experienced enough to know that something was not right.
Wow.
And so they said that one more day, had I not, and by chance, I just happened to have a doctor's appointment. One more day, he would have been a stillborn, and I probably would have had a stroke. So out of nowhere, out of the clear blue, I had never had high blood pressure in my entire life, never, ever. And when they got me to surgery, my blood pressure was like 181 over 1.
Wow.
And I wasn't feeling any effects of it. I was sitting there having a conversation, just like we're having right now. And everybody's like frantic. And I'm like, what's wrong? Why is everybody rushing? We're delivering the baby today? Why? And the nurse that told me, she was like, honey, we almost lost you both. Like,
wow.
it was serious. Like, we had to get him out. So, I mean, and that's a lot of experiences. But what are those women? What if I didn't have a doctor that paid attention?
Yeah.
What if I wasn't educated, and paying attention to my body and being in tune with my own wellness, to say like, okay, I'm not going to skip this appointment. I'm going to go ahead and go to the doctor. So many moms are not able to get to the doctor for various reasons: transportation, working, other children, so many things that are on the shoulders of women, particularly women of color, that prevent them from seeking wellness, seeking their well visits and things like that. And so in childbirth, they die. They die.
Wow. That's crazy. I mean, yeah, just like you said, with the high blood pressure, that's why they call hypertension the silent killer, because there's so many people that have it and have no idea, because they don't feel any effect, but it's wreaking havoc on their organs and just so many things. Okay, so
down. So it's true. Your organs my whole body was shutting down.
Gosh, that is so crazy, but thank God.
Yeah.
Okay, so as far as the mindset component of birthing, what advice would you give to someone that maybe they're not pregnant yet, but they want to conceive, or someone who is pregnant, maybe they're close to their delivery and they're really freaking out? Because I'm sure mindset does affect your overall birth. So, what advice would you give them?
So, mental strategy, as far as a mindset component, is super important. Like, because you're facing so many different things, right? You're facing complication, or you're facing, possible complication versus a defeat feeling that your pregnancy is not going the way you thought it was going. Everybody else looks cute and they're bopping around, and why aren't I? Why don't I feel great? Why am I sick all the time? And so those things take a toll. So developing a mental strategy to combat those things is super important. Super, super important. And it starts from even before you're pregnant. You're in preparation, especially when you get married and you're like, okay, we're thinking about these kids, thinking about it. It's important to just already prepare your mind. Like, for instance, I was not, being a postpartum doula, we make the worst. Sometimes we are our worst enemies because we know so much. I failed to really build my mental strategies to combat postpartum depression or postpartum anxiety, because everything had been perfect. So I didn't think I needed to prepare. Wrong. Always prepare. Start from the very beginning, from the time you want to become a mom. It doesn't hurt to read a parenting book. It doesn't hurt to read, to grab something off the shelf. I have tons of books here that I provide for my clients for various reasons that just take you through the process of conception. How does it even happen? What even happens here in this process, to the process of like week 12 or week 15? It takes you week by week. So I think those are the best things that you can do for yourself, is educate yourself, not scare yourself.
Right.
Not scare yourself, don't do that. But seek a resource. Seek somebody who is knowledgeable and can help you, work through what you're reading, because it's a lot to process. It's a lot. It's a lot, from conception to pregnancy to postpartum, and that first year after that. It's a lot. There's so many changes that your body goes through. that your mind goes through, because now you're a parent, you're responsible for someone else. So, and then, you know, of course, and let's loop dad in here too. I know my husband, the first thing he's like, do we have enough money? If we die, are we covered? If you die, we covered. And, you know, do we have enough insurance? Are our cars safe? What are the safety ratings on our vehicles? And I mean, he's an analytical mind. And so that's just how he operates. And so I'm sitting there like, oh my gosh, look at the ultrasound. He's like, we need to upgrade your car because the safety ratings on this have been recalled for 3 years. And I'm just like, sir, I'm not thinking crazy. I'm like, look at this cute little outfit. And he's like, do we have more life insurance? We need to get another policy.
Right. That's funny.
I'm like, you know, and a doula will help. Someone who is educated can help you say, okay, let's scale back on some of the
right.
all the things that you're thinking about right now, so that you can be present in the moment, so that you can be present and enjoy the experience. Because you can enjoy the experience. So that's, as far as the mindset thing, that's definitely start from the beginning. Start from the very moment you know you want to have a child, because it all changes. You think about one thing and that provokes another thought, and it's like a tree. So, you know, you're thinking about baby. Well, oh my goodness, here's this, here's that, here's this, here's this. No. Get someone to help you navigate. Start from the beginning on educating. Read. You know, get you some sound doctrine as far as what you're reading. And then, of course, from there, you can start to make some decisions. You can start to say, okay, I do want this and I don't want that. This is my birthing plan, or I do want a birthing plan, or I don't want one. I do want to I want a midwife. I want, you know, a male doctor, a female doctor, all these. I want to birth with Norton's or versus Baptist. Like, so many decisions you're going to have to make. And so it's just easier. It's just easier when you're prepared and you're knowledgeable.
That's awesome. Okay, so I know that you kind of touched on a misconception about being a doula, with it being like a hippie thing. But what are some other maybe misconceptions that you hear about what you do that you would like to debunk?
So yeah, we're not practicing any source of witchcraft in the doula world. I mean, I'm sure that there are some that are, but everyone has their own philosophy. On all doulas are not the same. We're all different. We all have our way of stepping into a birthing situation. You know, me, I'm carrying Holy Spirit 100%. You know, I'm even if my client is not necessarily is not a Christian, I'm channeling Holy Spirit to lead me through the entire process. Some doulas, you know, they are more into oils and aromatherapy and reflexology, you know, those kind of things that are specific to what they do and how they view birth and how they view the birthing environment and experience. So I think that it's not cookie cutter. Right. It's cookie cutter. That's why it's important to interview. It's important to interview your doulas to see what it is about them that agrees with what about their spirit agrees with your spirit. What about their philosophy agrees with your philosophy? So that's that. Also, too, is that people think it takes years to become a doula. Someone was like, "Oh my God, you went to medical school," and I'm like, "I'm not no medicine over here, no medicine involved." People think it's a lifelong work, because there are some doulas that have dedicated their entire life to birth, versus all the different channels of things that I am, and all that I am. Some are just really focused in on that, and people think it takes years, but it does not. It doesn't. Sometimes you're a doula and don't even know you're a doula. Haven't added the certification part yet. Yeah. So there's that. And I think one more, if I could touch on, someone said to me, I didn't know they had Black doulas. Oh God. And I mean, but there are doulas of all nationalities. And I think that there is a misconception that it's only, this is not politically correct, but rich white women are the only people that use doulas. rich Caucasian women. And that's not true. That's definitely not true. If you research birth in the Hispanic culture and in in the Indian community, like even Indians, like from India, and then Native Americans, they all have their versions of doulaship, as I call it, doulahood. And so, yeah, it's not exclusive. People think it's an exclusive thing, like, yeah, only rich people hire doula. No, doulaing has been a thing for a long time. It's been a thing for a long, long time. And then we got away from it. Now we're coming back. So on the comeback, please understand that it's not exclusive to just one particular demographic of women.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you addressed all of that, because, people don't know what they don't know. So it's good to put it out.
And that's okay. I'm not even going to sit here and say that I didn't think that I wouldn't have thought the same thing had I not been educated. If someone told me 10 years ago I'd be a doula, and I'm just like, I'd probably say, no, I'm not. Or I would have a doula. So say, I would have one. No, I wouldn't, because I'm not this, particular, I don't look this way, or this is not my economic status. So no, that's not what I would have. Or people have the thing that doulas and midwives are just people that live in way other countries and faraway lands, and that's not true. Simply just not true. So I've had some of those that I had that were debunked for me as well, and I'm like, oh, okay. So we're all around the world. All right.
Yes. Okay. So before we end, I always like to ask my co-host a fun fact. So what's your fun fact, Cari?
Good grief. Let's see. I think people find it surprising that I am a nanny. I don't know why. Is that a fun fact? Can that be a fun fact?
Yeah, totally.
That I nanny a wonderful set of kiddos, but I also have nannies that I train, so that's fun for me.
Yeah.
And fun changes after you become a parent. Like this, I was like, person was like, you act like you're going on vacation. I'm like, I am. I get to be in a room alone and talk to adults. Oh my God.
That's funny.
So, fun fact would be, that I'm a nanny, and that I help parents, do various things, whether it's design nurseries or make registries and things like that. So I think that's a little something that I do kind of under wraps that everybody doesn't know, that I help in the process of preparation in the fun things,
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh yeah.
And also your son and I have the same birthday.
Really? On Halloween?
Yes. I saw that when you posted his first. I don't know how I didn't know. When you posted about his first birthday, I was like, we have the same birthday.
Yes, he was due on Christmas Day, born on Halloween.
Wow.
And I'm like, you wanted
holidays.
Yeah, he wanted to be a holiday. Like, I'm born Valentine's Day. So
awesome.
Like, you're just trying to be a holiday like your mom. And I had high anxiety about him being born on Christmas too. That's a whole nother story for another day. Poor kid. I don't want that for him. Well, the Lord answered my prayer. He will give you the desires of your heart, because the child was born on Halloween. And I was like, well, Lord, I asked for all that. I didn't ask for the trauma. And he was like,
right.
We might what you pray for, because you have a kid 8 weeks early and be like, on Halloween. I mean, I had been trick-or-treating and everything.
Yeah.
Minding my business, and here comes this baby. But he's perfect. Perfect.
That's awesome. Yes. Well, thank you so much, Cari. But before we go, please tell the viewers where they can find you on social media. And also, if you have like a site through, is it Bluegrass Doulas, that you said?
Yeah.
I don't know if you have a link or something. Share that with me, and I'll post it. Yeah,
I'll send that to you so that you can post it. That's where my doula profile is. I also have, you can follow me on Facebook at BTG Family Solutions. And then, of course, my personal Instagram at Cari V. Burns. And, of course, Facebook as well are the same handles as Instagram. And so, yeah, and I do have a blog that I do write in every so often when I'm able to. So it's www.carivburns.com. And I just post some little nuggets there every now and again. Nothing extensive, nothing, too deep, just to check in with everybody and let everybody know what we're doing as far as nannyship and doulahood and all the things. So it's awesome.
Well, that is awesome. Thank you so much. That
You're
was
welcome.
a lot of good info for sure.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure to do it. I'm just always super glad to just support you in any way that I can.
Oh, thank you.
And it's good.
Yeah, same here. Same here. We got it. Babes supporting babes, right?
I love
Yes. Yes. Well, thank you, Cari. And
You're welcome.
We'll chat soon and y'all watch the replay.
All right, guys. Bye.
Bye. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. The replay will be available. I also wanted to say really quick that neither one of us are medical doctors, so the advice that we give is just based on our own personal knowledge and education that we've received. So take it at your own risk, okay? That was an amazing show. So feel free to share it with your friends. Maybe you have some friends that are pregnant or soon to be pregnant, or maybe they're already considering hiring a doula, wherever they are in this spectrum, feel free to share. And the last thing that I want to share before I go is my product that I'm featuring. So I like to feature something every single time we speak because there's lots of good products out there. Well, today is the first day for thousands of people to be Arbonne's 30 Days to Healthy Living. It is a program that, as you can see in this beautiful photo, you see some of our products, that focuses on a holistic approach to healthy living that is sustainable. It's not a diet. It's not some crazy workout plan where you have to basically deprive yourself of everything and of food completely, but it's a way to get in tune with your body, to cleanse your body of toxins, to eliminate allergenic foods, acidic foods, addictive and sugary foods, and foods that are going to cause your body inflammation, and really listen to your body and determine what serves you and what does not serve you. So basically right now until the 13th, we have an amazing deal going on. In the middle in the photo, you can see the pretty solid shaker. I have mine over there or else I'd show you. You also get a full-size skincare product and a sample product, as well as a free gift for 50% off of what it normally would cost you. But even better, because of all the free gifts, you're saving even more money. So everything is retailed at like $548, but you get it as low as $266. That breaks down to about $8 a day. That's going to include up to 2 meals, plus lots of additional goodies that will last you for a while. Maybe you don't want to do it by yourself. Maybe you want to share your kit with a friend. You can do that. Or maybe you just want to get a couple friends together and sign up. I'm running some amazing deals for people that want to do just that. So please let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to post all of the information on all the products you receive in the body of this video. So please let me know if you have any questions. Maybe you want to start the year off right. Maybe you have some wellness goals, some weight loss, weight management goals. Maybe you just want to determine what food allergies you have. All of those are possibilities for this program. I've been through it before. This is my second time doing it. And actually, my husband is joining me this time as well. So I'm really excited and then coaching some people through the program. But I love to help you. This is why I do Arbonne. I want to help as many people as I possibly can be well and live their lives well and reach their goals and make them sustainable for good, because that's what it's about. So thank you all so much for joining me this week on Monday's Muse, your weekly wellness dose. Next week, we have an awesome person. Her name is Maddie Martin. She is a total girl boss, woman boss in the Louisville area. Fitness instructor at Shred 415, Yoga State, Cycle Bar. I love to take her classes. She's amazing. She's going to talk about, she's a fitness instructor, but more than that. So please join us next week, Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. I will see y'all then. Have a great day. All right. Bye.